Hey everyone, welcome back for another Unraid video. Today we're going to look at a modification of a Spaceinvader One video for setting up a virtual VPN router on our Unraid server. First off, I have to give full credit to him for bringing this awesome content to the Unraid community, and down below I'll have a link to his channel and the video that this is based on. So to give some context, a few years ago, Spaceinvader One released a video on how to set up a virtual VPN router with an Ubuntu server using private internet access as the provider. In this video today, I'll be showing you how to set up that exact same VPN router, only for NordVPN instead of private internet access. If you already have the virtual router installed and are wanting to switch to NordVPN or something similar, then stay tuned. If you do not have the virtual router installed yet, pause here and click the link to Spaceinvader's video below. Then follow his instructions all the way to the 8-minute and 20-second mark. It's at this point where we'll diverge to Nord-specific instructions. Alright, now let's get started. Okay, so now here we are. We've got our virtual VPN router mostly set up. I've got my IP tables installed and I've got my OpenVPN application downloaded and set up. So to get our working directory, we can type pwd and that'll show the file path of where we are right now. So I'm in my home Nord folder, and this is where we're going to download our configuration file. So the next thing you want to do is go to nordvpn.com, and on the main page here at the top you can hit servers. Then we're going to go to recommended server, and over here on the right you can change these settings if you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and go with the first server that it shows up here. Show available protocols. And right here on OpenVPN UDP, I want to right click that download config and copy the link address. Don't download it here, just copy the link address. Then I'm going to go back to my terminal window and I'm going to type wget space, and then I'm going to hit Command V and paste in that address and hit enter. So pull that down. Now if we hit LS, we can see that it's the only file listed in our home folder for Nord, our user folder. Okay, now we need to get this copied over to the OpenVPN program folder. So let's do sudo cp and then this file name right here, us6440.nordvpn.com.udp.ovpn, and then the folder path for OpenVPN, which is etc/openvpn/ and then I'm going to rename this file just to us6440, and then you need to end this file name in a conf format. So us6440.conf, then we'll hit enter. Password. Okay, now if we navigate to our OpenVPN folder, and then we hit LS to list the files, we can see now the us6440.conf file. Now let's go ahead and clear our screen. Let's list our items real quick. The next thing we need to do, just like Spaceinvader's video here, we need to create a login file. So let's do sudo nano login, password, and then the first line is going to be whatever your username is for NordVPN, and then the next line we'll hit enter, and then you're going to type your password in. Then you're going to do Control O, enter, Control X. Okay, now let's list the files again. And now you can see that we've got our login file. Now, if you're not doing a fresh install and you happen to be switching over from a PIA configuration, you'll notice now in this folder that you're going to have more than just the NordVPN files. You're also going to have your PIA files, and we need to remove those. Here's the .crt file, the private internet access configuration file, and then the .pem file. So let's go ahead and do sudo rm and then list those files. PIA file 1.crt, then type the next one, PIA file 2.conf, and then the last one, PIA file 2.pem, and hit enter. Now let's list those again, and we'll notice that those are all gone. The one last thing that you're going to need to do if you're switching over from private internet access is to edit your login file. So let's do sudo nano login, hit enter, and then just update your username. So this will be your Nord username, and then this will be your Nord password. Then we're going to hit Control O and save that, press enter, and then Control X. So now if we list our files, all we have is our NordVPN configuration file right here. And then we have our Nord login file right there. Now we need to edit our configuration file. So let's do sudo nano us6440.conf, enter. Let's scroll down here to the line where it says auth user pass, and we're going to type in the path to our login file. So that's etc openvpn/login. Then we need to go down towards the bottom, and on the line that says auth sha512, hit enter. Then we're going to type script hyphen security space 2, hit enter again. Then we're going to type up and the folder path to the resolve config, which is etc/openvpn/update resolve conf. Then hit enter again. We're going to do down etc openvpn/update resolve conf. That's all we need to do here. So let's go ahead and save that by hitting Control O, enter, and then Control X. So now once we get to this point, if you're setting the VM up fresh for the first time, we need to switch over to Space Invader's video. Now here are the timestamps that I want you to watch through. It's the 14-minute and 15-second timestamp. That's where we need to start, and we're going to watch that all the way through to 22 minutes and 15 seconds. So all the directions that he gives you within that time frame, go ahead and follow those. Just remember that in his video he's using usa.conf, and just replace that with whatever your file name is. So in my case, I would use us6440.conf as opposed to his example of usa.conf. So once you get that watched through 22 minutes and 15 seconds, come back here and we'll continue on to the end of the video. Okay, so now that we've watched all the way through 22 minutes and 15 seconds on Space Invader 1's video, you can see on my screen here, my console screen, that I just finished installing the DNS mask. So now I'm going to clear the screen, and let's do a reboot of our VM. Now we can log back in, SSH. In my case it's Nord 192.168.1.141. Okay. Let's clear that. The next thing we need to do is modify our interfaces file. When you first set this up, Space Invader had you use the OpenDNS name servers, and we're going to change those to NordVPN's DNS name servers. So let's type sudo nano etc network / interfaces password. Now you should remember setting all this up. Let's come down here to the bottom line on our name servers, and we're going to take these two name servers out, these DNS servers. Then we're going to type 103.86.96.100 space 103.86.99.100. Then we can press Control O to save that, and Control X. Now we just need to do a reboot for the changes to take effect. Now that we've logged back in after the reboot, let's type ifconfig. We can see that the tunnel is up. And the next step is to go ahead and change our network settings on the computer. But before we do that, let's head over to dnsleaktest.com and run a standard test. That way we can see what our IP address is and what DNS servers we can expect. Okay. Right now, obviously, you can see I'm using Google DNS, and here are the DNS servers that come along with that. So let's switch over and change our network settings, and then we'll come back to this web page and see how the results differ. Okay, here on our network settings, I'm using Ethernet 2. I'm going to click on Advanced to change the settings that I need. IP address can stay the same. My router, I'm just going to change that to the address of the VPN VM. Then I'll switch over to DNS. And I've actually got this routed through my pihole Docker, which uses a Google DNS. But for this, I'm going to go ahead and change that to 141. Hit OK. Now we'll hit Apply. And let's switch back over to DNS leak test and see how the numbers differ. Okay. There it is right there. That's the IP address. There's the host name. It's only showing one server. No leak found. Now if we want to double check that result, we can go to dnsleak.com. There's the IP address of the VM. Let's start. Looks like your DNS is not leaking. And just as an added bonus here at the end, if you're using Pi-hole, I wanted to show you how you can use it with your VPN VM. So I've got my ad blocker turned off, and speedtest.net is notorious for having advertisements. So what I want to do is use my Pi-hole DNS without my DNS leaking. So let me log in here real quick. And over here on the left, I'm going to go to Settings, DNS, and I'm going to change this from Google to Custom. And by typing in the address of our VM, it's going to route all the DNS requests through the Pi-hole filter and then out through the VM using the DNS of the VM and our VPN. So let's save those changes. The DNS settings have been updated. Now I need to switch back over to my network settings and change my DNS from the VM of the VPN to Pi-hole. So here are my network preferences. I'm going to change the DNS server. The IP address of my Pi-hole container is 192.168.1.3. I'll hit OK there, and I'm going to leave my router still the same as the VM VPN. Hit Apply. So now if I go back to speedtest.net and I hit my refresh button with my ad blocker on the web browser off, I'll notice that my pihole does a pretty good job of blocking out those ads. This is really handy, and if you have things in your house like an iPhone or an Android that you still want to run through your VPN but still block ads in different apps. And just to make sure one more time that our DNS is not leaking using the pihole container, let's go ahead and refresh this. Let that run. No leaks there. Let's double check it on the DNS leak test. Continue. And our DNS is not leaking there either. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. I know it was a bit unusual to be switching back and forth between videos, but Space Invader's original video was so well done, I thought it best to only change the information needed for our specific video here and get the rest from the source. One last thing to note before we go, I'm not affiliated with NordVPN in any way. I receive no commission at all. I just thought, given the popularity of their platform, it could be handy for some folks to see how to set this up with their service. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day.